problem for Trevor is that he's claiming that he's like a legitimate voice.
Oh.
So sometimes you've got to go against how you feel to be that legitimate voice. And he's now caught in no man's land because someone's going, well, that's kind of Jim White. What's his name? Jim White?
Oh.
What's his name? Jim White.
Jim White.
Well, Jerry, you're contradicting yourself somewhat there, I would say. Hang on a minute. Someone just texted me. Oh, he's famous. Hang on.
Oh, what that? That's my brand new coffee machine.
It's outshot at the moment.
Well, I'm not going to show it to you because it's too expensive.
Yeah, someone will move straight round, won't they, to pinch it?
Oh, yeah. You just don't flash things like that around willy-nilly.
I mean, wow. So, hang on a minute. You've bought a coffee machine. Oh, there he is sipping said coffee.
Out of my Cruciate mug.
Is that a fancy mug as well?
Yeah, you know, I'll probably pronounce it wrong. Le Cruciate. They're like really expensive pans.
I see. It's, you know, Fam says this to me. She's like, my style is, if you know, you know. She likes to buy brands that aren't flashy, but if you know, you'd see them and you go, oh, okay.
Yes, that's better.
That's better. That's what you like to do with your cups.
Yeah, I just do it like this, so you can just operate.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing? That's hot. Why are you putting that near my nose? Anyway, welcome everybody back to Jaffin. It was Flav's birthday this week, so if you haven't said that to him because you weren't a patron, then shame on you. Become a patron and all will be forgiven. We spoke about it this week, but he is now an adult, which is great news.
40 years old.
40 years old, unbelievable.
Yeah, but a lot of people say I don't look 40 years old. I do.
I agree.
I do look. I can see in the mirror. I do look 40.
Definitely don't. Because look,
oh,
do you know what the big thing is? No grey hair.
Yeah, but that's because I'm blonde, innit? There probably is some there, but I wouldn't
so
mind
what?
that. I
So
think
what?
men look great.
Just enjoy it.
I think men look great with grey hair.
True, but they look older, don't they?
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose so.
Take the compliment maybe next time.
I mean, it makes me feel nothing. It's like a compliment that makes me feel nothing at all.
Okay.
So you keep it.
We got lots to talk about.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Keep talking. My missus... No, keep going. It's just my missus got out of the shower and she doesn't want to appear on the internet in a towel. Is that all right with you, James?
Okay. All right, I'll go to... Do you want me to get away from it or just you cover it?
Yep, she's gone. There you go.
Gold. Ollie, you're good as gold. Oh, steamy. Steamy. Was that the shower or was that Ollie? Or was that just Ollie's hot steaming body coming past? Wow.
What did I do?
Wow. That is... Well, have you just got hot hands? That's the high quality. That's the mix of high quality, you know, a top-notch lady coming out of the shower and high-quality mugs and coffee. Yeah, that's the life. That's the life that this man is leading these days because he's so bloody
I couldn't see her and I just got a little semi-wood on because I knew.
Oh, yeah.
I knew.
So, do you know what? We've got lots to talk about. Buffet chat. Went to a new stratosphere last week. I didn't know what I've created, so we'll dive into that. Last week we spoke about buffet tactics.
Okay.
There's a few quotes in the pods from
get the most out of you.
And because it's international break, there's not that much to do. So what I've done is I've worked backwards. I put out a title into the world, and from that we will get a video out of it. 5 things we've learned from the start of the Premier League season. and let them bring it in. Let them bring in the views. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So we'll dive into that in just a second. But I'm going to kick off with quotes of the pod. If you're new to this podcast, just give it a chance. If you want to become a patron and join us live as well, you can do. There's a link in the description. We're now... Do you know what I was thinking? Every week, if I say it like it's a deal, then people will be like, oh, quick, I better become a patron. Yeah. This week, patron, you can become a patron for just $4 or €4 or whatever it is. This week it could be this week only though. So hurry up.
Why did you decide to do this offer?
See, that's why it's not an offer, mate. I'm just saying it like it's an offer.
All right, I don't understand what's going on. All I just heard is I'm getting less money.
Well, that's another. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't changed. He hasn't changed. But hasn't he got this new coffee machine? Yeah.
It was look. Full disclosure: the coffee machine was bought to me by my lovely, fiance.
Exactly. So anyway, quotes of the pod from last week. If you want to get involved, make sure you do. No Jim Big Laugh Award this week.
Nothing made you laugh.
Nothing. Just nothing. It's not really good
Just
enough. I was getting down. I was like, I could pick 3 and pretend they were funny, but they weren't, guys. They really weren't. So if you can raise it, that would be great.
I can imagine you just sitting there, just scrolling down at that. No, nothing's happening. Nothing is happening.
No.
We've changed, Jim. I think success has gone to our heads.
I think it's something we need to keep an eye on. And I think this podcast is generally the thing that will keep us grounded.
Can I just say that this podcast isn't about this isn't success, right? Certainly for me, I am not successful because I'm just being dragged along. This podcast is being dragged along by all your other great content. I'm pretty sure this is damaging your channel.
It's fine.
All right, move on.
I'm not saying no, but it's fine. It's great. It's my favourite part of the week. Right. But there are some comments of the week. Actually, so first of all, James and Flav community page. This is we're in our 3rd season now for those joining us for the first time, and it is good. So do stick around. James and Flav community page, who's an absolute hero. He said, "Can I just say we're 3 pods in, and Flav hasn't answered his phone mid-pod yet. Such growth."
No one's wrong.
Yeah, it's a shame. But Joshua also said no packages either. So people think that this podcast is maybe stagnating. No.
I got a birthday present that was delivered to a completely different address by UPS. Don't use UPS; they are dog shit. So I've got to drive over and get that. So that's my package.
Oh, really? That's annoying.
Another one manor farm cottages, which is where I live. But you know that's not going to be no use to you because there's like literally 4,000 of them in the UK.
Okay, I was going to say don't give your address out on the podcast. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
It's fine.
Pop round, go make your coffee, guys.
I live so far
not in the good
away.
cups though. If someone came round to your house and said, "Can I have a coffee?" You go, "Yeah," but you wouldn't give them the good cups, would you?
I probably wouldn't give them. What, this one? Probably not that.
Still available, I think, somewhere.
No, probably. They'd get a shit mug.
Naz H159. I'm a fairly new slug. Found this podcast midway through last season. Started watching it. Now I'm a full-on dry slug. Good. Oh yeah, I went to a classic football shirts exhibition. It was so good. If anyone's in London, they want to do something, go to that. It's really good fun. But a couple of guys asked for a picture, but their intro in was like, "I'm a dry slug," and I was like, "Where?" I was like, "Cool, this is weird."
You got to celebrate that, Jim. Don't make him feel awkward for being a slug.
No, I loved it.
Did you laugh?
Well, and then I'm like, I'm on this high of fame. I can't handle it. Oh, people there because there was 4 of them. They were like, "Can we all get a picture?" And I was like, "Of course you can." Playing, giving it the big one, right? And then the bloke taking the photo goes, "So who do you support?" Take the photo.
That's what you need, though. You need those little moments to take you down. Peaks and troughs.
I know, it was really nice to meet those guys. But it was a good day. But yeah, he said he was a dry slug. Anyway, this guy is also a dry slug. I could barely understand anything you kept talking about with the in-jokes and so after last season. So I went back and watched every episode. Every few episodes, you used to ask what people who joined later on thought when they first listened to it and why they kept on listening. So I thought I'd let you know. But when you came back and I went to drop a comment, I had no idea. I've got through 2 shows thinking of what to say, but now I finally arrived to this conclusion. I think I just saw it in your channel, which I also discovered around that time, thought, great, another football podcast for me to listen to.
Oh, no.
And just decided to listen. After I realised it really wasn't one. Just stuck by it because I had nothing else to watch, and it had a little bit of football chat here or there. Now I've finally gone through all the episodes and got to say, glad I stuck by it. And all the comments under this got 28 likes, and people on there go, "Wow, what a beautiful comment." I'm like, what? So he got another football podcast, so I just stuck by it for a bit. It's got a bit of football chat, and I'm all right. I'm quite happy I stuck by it. And then it was like, beautiful. This is amazing. Put it in stone.
But that's it. No, he's nailed it. He's nailed what this is. All those things. So it is beautiful. He understands. It's like your wife, your fam, isn't it? It's like
Just why am I with this guy? Another man stuck by it, and
No.
now I can calmly say it was probably worth it.
What I'm saying is that you don't have to boast about it. You don't have to say anything about it. You don't have to explain it. But just do what we do. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Okay. In just a second, we'll be finding out the at least 5 things that we've learned from the first 5 games of the season, so stick around. But quickly, quotes of the pod. Charlie Warner, quote of the pod. Mason was a nice guy, just didn't have the beard. I think that was me, about Ryan Mason. Monovan, Jim, you know, the best thing about social club was when you had to stay in a hotel because, ho, the amount of sausages I would eat. More on that soon. He said, football podcast sponsored by Brazzers. Brazzers.
Brazos. Good on him.
Good way to keep the CPM high, isn't it? I'll just say things in a Bosch accent. Brazzers. Sam Barrett, quote the pod. James, I'd stay for the sausages. 6 sometimes. Sits back and reminiscently stares into space, licking his lips.
Yeah.
Thomas Martin, quote the pod. Flav, when talking about getting full from Chinese buffets, doesn't matter. It's in there. You win. This can be used for so many different scenarios. I love it. And Sam Thomas, quote the pod. James, after a night of rigorous lovemaking, you're not always going to walk out of it without a limp. So go back to last week if you want to check out those. So what have we learned, Flav? What have we bloody learned from the season thus far? Do you know what I do love to do every time I go on Twitter is just see what's trending, and there'll always be something. It's like it's clickbait in like not the worst way, in the weirdest way. It's like, why is Gabby trending? And then I know why Gabby's trending.
Well, we should make this a part of the pod.
Okay,
we'll make this part of the pod. We should, where we have to guess the why it's trending. Like John Terry is still a racist, is what my guess is.
Imagine that on Twitter Moments. John Terry is still a racist.
John Terry caught on camera throwing cups at Raheem Sterling.
Wow. Yeah. What wasn't? But what a captain though. But what a captain.
Yeah, it was a great captain. He's actually, comes across quite well in interviews and whatnot.
Yeah, I think he was, because I looked at this, I think he was trending because there's a 2-minute compilation of him making mistakes and people going, you could only 2 minutes on it. The other person who was trending was good old Gabby at Bungler, which is the new Dean Saunders, isn't it? Yeah.
Was he on TalkSport? Has he said something? What's he said?
He said, you probably like this, I think. He said that in a cup final,
there is.
He would choose Kane over Ronaldo.
Why? Ronaldo's like born winner.
I'll tell you why. Because he's been told to say it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you see the commotion over Trevor Sinclair this week? Because
he got caught, didn't he?
We got caught contradicting himself, right? About Ronaldo. I have no issue with this at all. I don't know why. I mean, the Man United fans are going to be a little bit like, you said those people in there. But for me, he's a City fan. He's supposed to be biased. Like, what is all this obsession with unbiased punditry? Let's get more bias in. It's more interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever you do, you've kind of got to own it, haven't you? You've got to own it. I think it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous to suggest that you're unbiased in any way. Like, everyone has all sorts of biases. You're of the category of where you completely own your bias. Yeah. I'm going to go with bias. The problem for Trevor is that he's claiming that he's like a legitimate voice.
Oh.
So sometimes you've got to go against how you feel to be that legitimate voice. And he's now caught in no man's land because someone's going, well, that's kind of Jim White. What's his name? Jim White?
Oh.
What's his name? Jim White.
Jim White.
Well, Jerry, you're contradicting yourself somewhat there, I would say. Hang on a minute. Someone just texted me. Oh, he's famous. Hang on. Oh, no, I'll come back to Trevor. Trevor, we're going to come straight back to you, Trevor. Trevor, I just want to speak to someone first on the phone. Let me hear you've got an angry opinion, haven't you? Let's hear that. You're my pal. Let's hear your angry opinion.
That is him for 2 hours.
Angry opinion comes in. Well, hang on, I haven't finished my sentence yet. Well, we haven't got time for that. I'm sorry, pal. Get off. You're gone. Simon Jordan. volatile comments from that man there who I didn't get allowed to finish what he wanted to say. What's your response that we can clip up?
That is genius, Jim.
Jim.
That is, you've nailed it. You've absolutely nailed it. Can I just say, in this instance, Trevor Sinclair is not only having to deal with that moron sat next to him, right? But you've also got someone.
I possibly would work for TalkSport just to be clear, just to get it out there. I'm just saying, Jim White. I think sometimes doesn't let people speak, which I'm doing right now. So who am I? Carry on.
No, all right. Moron's probably too much. He's done well for himself, hasn't he? But it's just a bit of a clown. Anyway, so you got Trevor Sinclair sitting there, right? And he's in this situation where he's got to give opinions. He's there to give opinions. The whole point of him being there is he says something that's relatively interesting, right? So he's doing his job.
Yeah.
You've got that tone next to you that's just incessant and doesn't stop for 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever on. And then you've got in front of you someone who knows how to talk. There isn't a better talker than what's his name? Jordan.
Simon Jordan, yeah.
He's not a better talker on TalkSport. He's
always
fantastic.
Right, but,
And even when he harbours views that you don't agree with, he's so articulate and never riled that you can kind of, all right, that's your point. It's, you've explained it well. I still don't agree with you, but I'm not coming away from it feeling infuriated by it. Do you know what I mean? He's just so good. So you've got this super intelligent, super articulate guy, and you've got Trevor Sinclair, who's he's an ex-pro, but he's got to do that, and he's got to cope with Jim White. So if he just contradicts himself a little bit, and then he's clipped up by TalkSport and put on TalkSport's, their channels, you've got to give him a break a little bit. And as a City fan,
he knows. You know what you're doing walking into that as well. Like you are the ex-pros, the guy you're gonna get clipped up, aren't you?
Yeah, and they get paid very well for it, I'd imagine. But what I would say, Jim, is as a fan of your club, that shows to me that he's a genuine fan of his club. Because the minute Harry Kane was going to go, I was going to go, a bit overrated anyway, isn't he, really?
Yeah,
his ankles are made of biscuits. So you it's self-preservation. And naturally, you instead of digging out Trevor Sinclair because of what he said, you just actually go, that's a proper fan.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. Thing is, Trevor Sinclair I don't think he would have liked that, seeing that contradiction, and he also wouldn't have done what you're saying, which is like own the contradiction.
Yeah,
because really he can just go, well, it doesn't fit my agenda anymore. I'm trying to keep the Man City fans happy.
Let's all be honest. I'm here. This is my agenda. Deal with it. You've got to deal with it until TalkSport take me off. That's it.
Yeah, and they'll keep me on because I'm doing this.
And you'll still be going crazy.
Exactly.
And this is
here we are. And here we are talking about it for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, if people blame. They look at them and they blame the pundits, and then they blame TalkSport for being contrary in order to generate conversation and traffic and whatnot. It's a brilliant tactic, and it's worked for years and years and years. And then the minute you're infuriated by the contrary nature of the content they produce, you're feeding them. It's fucking genius.
It is genius. But there is my sort of view on. Do you remember we used to Ball Street used to always be like, I can't do clickbait. I'm getting people starting to get a bit wound up, I think, or if I'm getting a couple of comments about clickbait. But I put a video out saying Sharky explains why Arsenal fans are deluded. Now, I think that is a good title. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good title. I clicked on it and watched it.
And he does say it. He does say that Arsenal fans are a bit deluded. That's too long a title. I've got to take a bit out, haven't I? But my point, the same goes for the one I find really funny is and I actually love the what I have with the channel now is that the ranking videos where every single thumbnail, you got your ranking tier list. I go Liverpool, right at the bottom. and my people know now. People that have loved, have supported me from the start. They see that thumbnail and they aren't annoyed by that. They look at it and smile because they know that generally I've probably not put them down there. I've put it down there, but I've started getting a few comments of people going, James, this is so disappointing.
No, it's not disappointing, Jim. Let me.
I'm fine, mate. It is the game.
Look, can I just explain something to what clickbait is? right? Clickbait is obviously it's naturally to click to get you through the door, and YouTube it's so difficult to get people through the door. If they're once clicking through and the content isn't good, that is the worst form of clickbait. And you should look at yourself. Look at the tons of newspaper articles out there, and that's really what this is about. You know, when you talk about clickbait, you're talking about people that are getting people in to serve ad revenue, right? That's what clickbait is for. When you get there, there's no content. It's bullshit. It's shit. You get in there, you serve tons of ads. You've wasted your time. If James has to put in a slight tweak on the truth in his thumbnail to get the people through the door so they can enjoy 20 minutes of not only good conversation, but well put together, well edited videos in a brilliant studio with equipment that's been paid for, then so he should be. Just take a minute off of being a job's worth.
But mate, the thing is, and I know we're going on a tangent here, but with my channel, the more I like, you always said this, but I'm like, I know there's enough of the right kind of people that I want to watch my channel, and now I'm in this lovely place where I've got enough of those kind of people. I will continue down the road where it's the people that get it, and then what happens though is you get these new people that kind of don't totally get it or need a minute to get it or whatever.
Yeah,
but like,
don't worry about it.
Oh no, I completely don't worry about it. But I read the comments. Like I should, that I think that's part of that's your job, isn't it, to read the comments?
Yeah, but if they're having a negative impact on you, then you don't.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I just think it's interesting that it's like, whereas before that the initial people that were there, they're sort of smiling at this thumbnail. You'll get like replies to a tweet, people going, oh, I know what you're doing, Jim. I know what you're doing. But now you've got this kind of new, these different people who are kind of going, what's he doing? Like, is he
I'm looking at your thumbnail here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, you clicked, but I don't know. It says on, what does it say on the bottom? Ranking every Premier League transfers, and you've got Liverpool, Arsenal, and City. maybe having one up.
But the thing is, anyway, like, again, if you're going to come in and you're going to take it too seriously, that is your problem that you need to take with the rest of your day. It's not mine.
Yeah.
We move.
Right. What is the...
Sorry, got lots to get through. So the title of the video this week, 5 things that we learned from the start of the Premier League season. So let's see what people have done. Catherine, the queen of the slugs. She's in the chat now, I think. She says... people said, this is interesting, people said that football Twitter was toxic because we couldn't get into the ground to voice our opinions. But now we are back, it is worse, and people don't stop moaning over the smallest things. Thoughts on football Twitter?
It's the worst part of football. Worst part. Well, when I think of football Twitter, I think of the anonymous accounts, which are, like fucking... Pogba obsession, or that's what I consider, and those are strange. That's a strange area of a really odd, weird little sort of section of football Twitter. And generally, you can't just enjoy your football club if you go on Twitter. It's impossible. You can't. If Spurs are winning 1-0 and top of the league, there'll be someone out there going, "This is not good enough." And that is happening. We're currently top of the league. We've beaten a really good Wolves side. We've beaten Manchester City with all the shit with Kane, and we've beaten Watford. We're top of the league, and people are complaining. Like, what do you want? So, but I think that's what Catherine's getting at, is that you can never win, and even when you win, you can't win because there's someone out there trying to mess your day up. So, yeah, look, honestly, if it wasn't for work and stuff, I would delete Twitter immediately. In the first instance,
I guess the one good thing that you get right is when having a Spurs podcast, your Twitter account. I do look for. It's funny. I look for your love the shirt tweets when you win, because you'll just go. There's just a sort of standing out, chest out. Goodbye. I'm off, and I think that's. So there is a way of enjoying it, like, still.
Well, that's what's great about that, and people don't know. Go and give it a follow. I love the shirt. We follow the only people in the podcast, so you don't see anything else. If you don't look at the mentions, you don't see anything. So that's like my Twitter happy place.
Yeah, it's very good. It's funny, and you'll go for it as well. You bloody go for it.
Yeah, there's sometimes when I'm a bit drunk. Often I'm drunk when I'm tweeting after the games. Always have a drink with the game, right? And it's often, and I look. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, that's all right. That's not too bad. But sometimes also one.
Oh,
Did
mate.
I really tweet that?
I was so bad at that in my single days. The drunk, like, come on in, the door's open to text whoever you want, whatever you want, because you know you're probably fine in the morning, but you still wake up in the morning going, oh, what have I done?
Yeah, but when you're doing it, when you're texting, you're like,
this is a smart choice. Yeah, this is bang on. Oh, yeah. She's going to be loving this.
I have nailed this. And then, wake up in the morning.
Goes wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, go follow at Love the Shirt, The Fighting Cock. Go listen to the podcast.
If I can push something, can I push my TikTok?
Yes,
right
you
now?
can. Yeah.
I've made a TikTok for my dog called Frank the Blue Staffy. We're on 188 followers. So anyone watching this, if you like dog content, I'm building this up. This is my moneymaker. No, it's great content. Not a moneymaker. Yeah.
No clickbait there.
Please go and follow my TikTok. I'm not in it.
Anyway, so what else have we learned, Flav? Stan, that everyone seems to forget that Norwich have spent a lot of money to try and this league this time around. That was another thing. Norwich fans didn't enjoy the fact that I said they'd had a poor transfer window. I felt like you need another striker. Sorry. Dan the man. The unlucky one. Arsenal's defence. We've learnt Arsenal's defence. It's not a good one. And Blake Newton. Antonio is really the GOAT. We've learnt that. We've learned that Arsenal.
He's the kind of player that everyone now, even people are still saying he's no good. Like that, they're still saying.
Is anyone? Is he getting to Idaho Johnson territory where everyone's going to say underrated? We've all said it now. Like there comes a moment where you're not allowed to say it anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I think because he's. Yeah, you shouldn't say it because he's just done it for them over and over again. Like, so you've got to just give him the props, and perhaps we get into that stage, but there will always be people that don't rate him because of his style of play or because he's at West Ham and they just won't give it to him. And they're like, Antonio's never going to get a move to Manchester United, is he? Although statistically,
he would be good enough. Yeah, he'd be great at Arsenal. He would have been so good at Arsenal if they would ever get him.
But that's what I'm saying. They would never have considered him. What is that? Yeah. What is that about? Why isn't Antonio getting overlooked for everything?
Do you know what? His thighs are a joy as well. I don't know I don't know what he's doing with shorts really. Well, it's got a stylistic thing, but it's.
I saw a great tweet the other day. It says Adama Traore when we were talking about like in terms of physique. If you sent Adama Traore into Afghanistan with a bottle of baby oil and an M16, Taliban would be gone within a week.
That baby oil thing is like, I get it, but it's odd, isn't it? It's a bit funny.
There must be a reason why no one can get the ball off him.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that.
Danny Cox, apparently we've learnt that Matt Ritchie is physically incapable of tracking his man.
Yeah, so Matt Ritchie's a funny one, isn't he? Because he's always, whenever you watch him, he always catches the eye. Whenever he was playing at Newcastle, where's he at now?
Yeah, he's still at Newcastle, yeah.
He's
at Bournemouth.
Yeah, always catches the eye. And then, but he again, it's like no one kind of rates him. And then it's the things you don't see, like he doesn't track his man. That perhaps why he never got the big move.
This is good, Reese. Gary Neville and co.'s outrage at the ESL over greed and money while twerking for the club spending crazy money on the Lukakus and Ronaldos, while touting Kane. It's interesting.
I think, look, you're asking football pundits to take a step back and think about what they're saying, and they're not capable of doing it. They're just angry. It's about emotion rather than that. They want everything. They want, you're right, 100% that paying Ronaldo $450 a week and Varane for £400,000 a week is gluttonous. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Can't take.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
And finally, probably the best thing that I think we've all learned from G. This is Klopp looks better with glasses. I would agree with that. It's something chilling about him now that I'm really struggling with. But hopefully we'll get past at some point.
Has he had laser surgery then? Has he?
I presume so. He's gently rebranding his face, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done the teeth.
Yeah, he's doing it. Do you think he's like? Yeah, he's just trying to do it. Well, if I do this over a 4-year period, I'll do the teeth. Let him get used to that. Then we do what glasses? Glasses gone. Did it in the summer as well, didn't he? In the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, what these? Oh, just regular. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a hair transplant going on there somewhere. Why has he always got a hat on?
At least no one say, "Oh, I look like him constantly." Now, if he doesn't wear glasses, that'll be a thing of the past.
That's true. Well, you need to put your glasses back on, wouldn't you? Do you know who people think you're looking like now?
Who?
Graham Potter, because he's got a beard.
All right, that's just another one. There's just a list of people I look like. I think James and Flav community page, Louis, he's compiling a collage of all the people I look like.
Working on it. He's working
We're
on
about
a deep dive.
8 deep at the moment. We're about 8 deep.
It's 8, is there?
I think so at the moment. Well, it's just fun. They all look like me. There was one. I was like, there's one in the Mike Skinner studio, geezer on a keyboard, and I was like, when was I in the studio? That's mad. Surely I remembered that. Yeah. And it looks so much like me. I was sending it to my brothers, and they were like, "Fuck you with Mike Skinner." No, just another bloke who looks like me.
In the Patreon chat right now, can we get 8 different people or 9 quickly that Flav looks like? I mean, I think the quick fire ones that have been around for a while. Klopp, Corbyn, Potter now. You get a Harry Kane sometimes, which I don't really see that. I think it's probably more of a haircut.
Yeah, my brother Adam looks a bit like Harry Kane. Doesn't matter. Let's go.
Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, chuck them in there if you see them. Right. Okay. Right, The Joy of Roy, it's called now. It was The Joy of Roy Keane. Someone got annoyed at that because there's clear alliteration there. It can be used as not alliteration, whatever it is, rhyming. The Joy of Roy. Alfie at 7. So this is... have you watched his interview with Gary Neville, by the way?
Yeah, I loved it.
I loved it too. You were like, oh, I get him now. Like he's mellowing a bit, or you kind of all we ever needed to do with Roy was look at him when he has a little angry moment. Just look at him, go, Roy. I know what you like. And do
you know what it is? Because he's just honest, and that's genuinely sort of who he is. You like him for it, even if it is a bit abrasive.
Yeah,
but that interview is good. All of that overlap stuff is really good, to be honest.
That's true.
What they're doing down at Sky Bet, they're just really nailing that content. It's fun. It's really, really good stuff.
It's true. It's and he's authentic. I would say to everyone, go and watch that. It really is a good interview. He came across so much better. You kind of go, oh, I understand different elements of him. Like there's a bit where if you take it as a sort of a sentence, the fact that he goes. He's like, yeah, I fell out with 1 or 2 people. Of course you're going to fall out with people. That's what you do, don't you? You fall out with people. And in his mind, he's like it's not the end of the world. Because I think everyone else, the rest of the world is going, oh, he's falling out with people. He falls out with people. And he's going, yeah, I fall out with people. Of course you do. That's what you do.
Normal. In football.
But it's not a big deal for him. That's the thing.
No.
Like he's always infuriated. That's him.
And it isn't a big deal for anyone, but it's just blown up, especially in football, which is like a goldfish bowl anyway.
Right, we've got a couple of stories of The Joy of Roy. Yeah. So here's one. The Joy of Roy Keane submission. It isn't my story, but I remember reading it online somewhere, probably Twitter. I asked Keane to sign an Ireland... That is good. I asked Keane to sign an Ireland jersey a few years ago. He said... I can't do it. I can't not... He said, pull the jersey tight.
Do the voice.
Pull the jersey tight. There you go. He's soft, isn't he? He's either soft or he's too high. Pull the jersey tight. So he could sign it easier. So I did, and he said it again, and I said, pull the jersey tight. And then I said, I'm pulling it as much as I can. He gave me a blank stare, said nothing for a few seconds, and then went, well, you're not very strong then.
That is amazing and true. 100%.
Yeah, that's got to be true, innit? Well, you're not very strong then, are you?
You're not very strong then.
And here's another one. George O'Callaghan, The Joys of Roy. I live and work in Derby, and during Roy Keane's stint as Martin O'Neill's assistant at Nottingham Forest, Mr. Keane came into the shop I work at. He only bought a bottle of butane, matches, and firelighters.
Jesus.
Yeah. Me being an annoying, runty, but charming service person, asked him, you planning a barbecue, Roy? He looked at me with an... It's like, you just know this look. He looked at me with an offended look. It's just like, why would you ever say that to me? With an offended look and said, with no nerves and just venom, no. Not a shout, but a stern word. Not long after this, there was a pretty famous fire in Derby. that made national news. The dad of 14 set fire to his house for insurance. But in mine and my brother's heads, it was Roy Keane on a cold-blooded spree.
Beautiful.
The joy of Roy.
I love that. More. Anyone out there? More Roy Keane stories.
More wonderful Roy Keane stories. You're not very strong then, are you? So
very strong then, are you?
Season bingo. We're getting there, mate. We are getting there. Can you see? Yeah. Can you see the? Am I sharing this thing with you?
Yes, you are. I'm looking at it.
Wonderful.
I'm looking at it.
So we've got a lot of bingo places still to be filled. But I'm going to rattle. This is going to have to be quick fire because we've got quite a few newbies in there. But so what we're doing here, guys, is we're creating a season bingo. Louis or one of the patrons, this may be on you guys to keep an eye on this once we have established our season bingo. And from there, we can then see which ones come true as the season progresses. But we've got some new ones, which I'll just reel off. And Flav, you can pass comment if you want to.
Yes.
Okay. So Charlie Warner. For the bingo, Brighton to lose a game in the same weekend as Leeds, yet Brighton are called naive in the post-match analysis, whilst Leeds are praised.
I think that period of Leeds getting praised for the way they play is over. I'd be surprised. Well, I think it's just been done to death. It's becoming a cliche, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'll keep an eye on that one, Charlie. But I think you might be that might not come true.
And do you know what? These aren't in there. So some season bingo picks haven't been put in.
Right.
But these two. I just wanted to read about because there's such a waft here, and I think you'll know what the waft is. I think you'll pick it up quite quickly. So these were back-to-back comments in the chat yesterday. Lewis Lawrence, Jeff and Bingo. In the same weekend, Harry Kane is branded clever or smart by pundits as he dives to win a penalty. Salah will be branded a cheat or a diver for the same thing. So let me just read both of them. See if you can get the waft. See if you can just gently the waft. The waft's just come through the door there. See if you can get it. Elliot Lacey. Virgil van Dijk is going to get skinned and fall over, and it will go viral on Twitter that he isn't the same player after the injury, when in actual fact, he will be leading the stats board for defenders. Is there any waft of agenda?
The waft of Merseyside. The waft. The stench of Liverpool.
Got you, guys. Liverpool, whilst we've been doing this podcast, Liverpool fans have been the ones that don't take this. Please don't take this the wrong way. Don't get angry with this one,
They're 100% going to take it the wrong way.
Yeah, true. But this is the kind of thing that
doesn't serve you well.
It doesn't serve you well because you think you're doing it kind of gently, but it is completely doused in flammable Liverpool agenda.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good. Just give it a reread. Read it out loud because we will pick up on it and we will come for you.
Also, you do have probably the best defender in the world. Why do you give a shit if people say stuff because they're jealous that they don't have him? If you're weak enough, if you're so weak,
he's gone.
If you're so weak that you can't just acknowledge what you've got and not be impacted by someone who's jealous of what you've got, you're actually weaker than the person who's made that in the first place. Grow a pair of fucking bollocks and just get on and watch your football team. Don't be. You've got Van Dijk at the back. You've literally got you've got it all already. Why are you worried about this little shit down here?
And it's a shame because both of those would have got, the first one would have got it. Sorry, the Virgil van Dijk thing gets in if he doesn't say the bit at the end. If he goes Virgil van Dijk to slip over and for it to go viral, could have gone 100%. In. But
Great point.
You've ruined it with the tone at the end.
With your agenda.
And it's, I think, that kind of anger living in yourselves is not good for you because it hasn't happened yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Even if it does happen, it's like you're still great. So what does it matter?
That said, there may be some double standards here because we're letting Charlie Warner get. I imagine Charlie Warner's maybe either a Brighton fan or hates Leeds, so there is a gender in that one as well. So unfair. Harry says Patrick Bamford will conduct a post-match interview where he hasn't got his breath back. This was good because he will do that. He'll be like, well, no, look, it's just good to get the 3 points, and I'm just happy to score a goal. Because he does when he does his post-match interview, he hasn't got his breath back. So keep an eye out for that.
On that last year, his dad's a billionaire or a millionaire or something like that. A billionaire.
Yeah, and that's why he ain't got the grit, is he? Because he's had a decent upbringing, so that means he doesn't care or work hard enough.
There you go.
Big Sam will be linked with any club that is in the bottom half that sacks their manager.
It's already happened. It's already happened. There's Arsenal fans. There were Arsenal club saying, "Look, actually, I can't remember. It might have been on Arsenal fan TV saying, look, we just got to get Big Sam in. Just get us out of the mire." But if it's the press, we're looking for press to say it, aren't we?
Yeah, true. Steve-O in it, yo. I got one for the bingo pundit. After Man U inevitably draw to Newcastle away, a pundit will say, it's obvious they're one or two quality signings away from really competing for the league. I mean, at what stage will that end? Like, they've just signed Ronaldo. That could backfire, the Ronaldo one. I've just been thinking about that recently.
They
really backfire.
They've got, apart from the midfield, I don't think you can. Can you win midfield with Fred and McTominay in it? Like as your
steel.
I don't think so much quality elsewhere. They don't have to.
I think you've got a bet. I think you've got a better chance of winning the league with Fred and McTominay, than you would without them. The reason I say that is because if you were playing Fernandes, Pogba, Sancho, Greenwood, Ronaldo, all these guys, and then Fred at the base of it, you're in trouble. So the problem they've got is fitting them all in. They've got to fit them all in.
You probably won't actually see a team with all those four in it at the same time.
But you will get like huge anger at people going, how are Fred and McTominay playing together? The reason for that is because Ronaldo won't press. He won't work hard. So you're going to have some contingency there.
I mean, it's like, oh, fuck, I saw this mental guy on Twitter who just crammed everyone into the side that they've bought. And instead of putting Fred and McTominay, he put Lindelof as a holding midfielder with... Fuck, I can't remember the other one. But it's basically all of the names. He's just stuck all of the names in. He said, tell me that this side doesn't win the league. He had two... It was a 3-2... whatever the formation was. And it was like, it doesn't win the league because it's stupid. Football doesn't work that way. You have to have solidity.
That's what I mean. Like, it could
this is the best Manchester United squad that I've seen for a long, long, long time, though. I'm going back to the sort of Alex Ferguson days. They look like Man United again. Last year, I know they beat us, but I had no fear, no trepidation playing United. They'd lost that altogether. Like back in the day, you'd think, oh, United, we're not going to win this. But that had gone for years, and now it kind of feels like, given their investment, like everyone's got to be Glazers in now, right? Look at the investment; it's mental. What if there's still Glazers out, and they're just they're talking about the investment in the side? I don't know what they want. Do you know what I mean? Like that. They've got two of the most expensive...
Three cheers for Glazers. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, there's a lot of ill feelings, and probably not that, but that's it. And the same for West Ham and like their owners. Like West Ham are flying. They're playing really well. They're making the correct decisions. They've done some bad, and Spurs as well. Like this is the thing: is when football teams are winning, no one wants to protest. And when things are going bad,
that's so true.
Everybody's process. So what does it mean? What does it mean when things are going bad? It sounds like you're angry and you don't know what to do. So let's just get Levy out, FSG out. I saw FSG. Is that FSG? Yeah, for Liverpool out because of the transfer window. We're stagnating. You've just won the league and the Champions League. They've got a grace period. What are you do? Why is it? And this goes back to the question about football Twitter. Why no one seems to be able to just appreciate things what might have happened and things what might happen and a plan that needs to be afoot, and they're just this isn't going the way I want it. Get the board out, get the manager out. It's pathetic. Like, can you imagine wanting the board out who literally in 2000, like 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago, won you the Champions League and the league at a canter, brought in Klopp. Madness.
I think
they don't deserve it. That's the thing. They don't deserve it. And there are fans of other clubs that will never experience what they've experienced, who will never even get a sniff of it, and they don't behave like a child in that way. You become greedy. For success. Success is a double-edged sword. It really is.
And I think just look before everyone flies into the comments, like what Flav's saying is about specific people. If you are a Liverpool fan and your whole basis for, like, if you have other feelings on FSG about other things, then fine. But on the transfer window specifically, if it's because they haven't spent the same money, the extortionate amounts that Man City have and the other teams have, then you're getting it. You're missing the point.
If there's a political reason why you want the Glazers out of your club, and I understand there's a lot of ill feeling, I get it. But most of what you see on Twitter is certainly FSG out was on the basis of their transfer window and nothing else, and that is pathetic.
I agree, especially when we'll all be so high and mighty about Super League and it being about the fans and like it not being about money. That is a very interesting blind spot that doesn't get talked about enough. Where everyone kind of calms down and go, well, hang on, so it's kind of going my way a little bit at the moment. We've just signed Ronaldo, so we're just kind of keep quiet about it all now. Like, and we're going to start winning games. Similar, you know.
Well, can I just add something to what you just said on top of that?
Yeah. Go
when as a way of an apology, there were people on Twitter, Liverpool fans, saying, well, the only way Henry can make it up to us, other than the apology, is sign Mbappe. How is it going to sign Mbappe without the money from the Super League? If you want that, then you have to take. If you're celebrating Mbappe signing for your football club, and he may well end up at Liverpool next year, and then Liverpool have to do things to pay the shareholders, pay all the wages, and pay the transfer fees of someone like Mbappe, then do not kick and scream when things like the Super League are mooted, because that's how this shit is funded. Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a great point. Right. Let's go. I'm going to quick fire here. Here we go. Liam Spivey, Man City will be playing on TV. Count how many times Pep is caught by the camera with a mouthful of thick white spit. Sometimes he spits it out, but sometimes he just swallows. It's so white and thick. Lewis Lawrence, Jeff and Bigger, Wilfred Ndidi scores, and the commentator, most likely Martin Tyler, shouts, "Oh yes, Ndidi." Got no problem with that. Lewis got another one here. Harry Kane is branded clever or smart. That's it. Oh, I put it in there. Let's get that out. Russell Miller. Season bingo in the
Harry Kane is constantly being called a cheat, constantly, all the time, saying like he's diving penalty merchant. So it's bullshit.
Russell Miller, in the aftermath of Man United Chelsea games, Lukaku and Pogba cover their mouths while catching up with each other, despite being involved in a potentially title deciding game. They will go to those two where they go. Oh my god, what's that? It's a cat. It looked like a snake for a second.
Sidley did
with the towel. Simon tells my prediction for the manager to get the new haircut is Graham Potter. Keep an eye on that. He's reinventing himself. John Dewhurst, guaranteed thing that will happen this season. Gary Neville will make a comment about Patrick Vieira not being good enough, and Carroll will turn it into a joke about Valencia. Charles says Steve Bruce will get something thrown at him from the stands. Keep an eye out for that. Steve, if you're watching. And Michael, bottom half managers to wear shorts in the dugout after the clocks go forward. My personal bet is Steve Bruce. Assistant managers won't be allowed. By the way, it's got to be the manager. I think that's a stretch. And last one, Jamie Westcar, a sports Bible post of that scoreboard from that Boxing Day on Boxing Day. You know, the one where it's like, oh, there's all these goals on Boxing Day. You know, you've seen that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So there was like one Boxing Day in like 1960 something. There was like. It was like 8-3, 5-5, 4-4, 6-4, all this stuff.
Oh, God, yeah.
That will get posted by Sports Bible. So keep an eye out for all of these. At one point, we'll share this. And then, like I say, Louis, we're going to need you to keep an eye on this, see how we get through it, if that's possible. That cat's kind of cute. I don't really like cats.
He's not. So I was falling asleep last night. Ollie was doing a shift at work. And
Shift.
Yeah, she works. She manages a.
That sounded like I thought you said shit.
Oh no! Well, there is shit involved in this story, and I was just drifting off. I drifted off, and my daughter Chloe came in and went, "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" And I was like, "Fucking hell, what's going on? What's going on?" The cat's shut in your room. This one, didn't you? Stupid little bitch. And the
you little shitty.
You little
shit in the bin.
Cat shit is the worst. Much worse than dog shit. Much worse. And he did it right next to my bed. So I woke up and I had to have all that.
We have in our garden. We've got these like it's fox poo everywhere. And I honestly sometimes I want to go outside and then I'll catch it. I'll see it there. And we've got one of those like sensor things that go like make a horrible sound to try and get rid of them. And sometimes I swear, like just on purpose, to like say this microphone's a sensor. They'll poo just right next to the sensor, just as like two fingers up at me. Yeah, and I just want to fall to my knees and just go, ah! When will this end?
They're quite nice foxes. I like them.
Nah, mate.
Encourage them.
Scum. Buffet talk. It's buffet talk. There you go. It's a jingle.
So this is about you getting the most out of a buffet's tactics, right? Because
blown away by the response to this. I can't believe I didn't realise this was such a thing. Essentially, this is like home wins, isn't it? I think. Yeah. It's beating the system. So to broaden it out,
just a recap quickly about how you beat the system when you go in.
So basically, we were talking about my sort of past and tactics with the Chinese buffet. One thing I didn't tell you was a story that we stayed in a Chinese buffet for so long once that we went in for lunch. And then we got through quite a few plates, and then they had loads of like orange slices. We were just sitting there chatting, orange slice, and
when you was hungry,
and then all of a sudden our friends came in, and we were like. And they were like, "Oh, should we sit with you?" It's like, "Yeah, hang on, go on, get the table over there." Just did it all again.
And you just went back. Enough time had passed.
Round 2, round 8.
I bet they were looking at you, going, "Bastards, get out."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that as a broader point, because we can't talk about buffets forever. But beating the system, I think beating the system in life is a glorious, glorious thing.
Yes.
So get in the comments and tell us when you beat the system, a little win. Because I was thinking about it when I was downstairs making a cup of tea. It's a bit like this. So one's beating the system. The other one is so I was downstairs. I'll always take the tea bag and I'll just like from distance. I'll just try and throw it in the mug. Right.
So you make a little game out of something that's quite boring. Putting a tea bag in a mug.
Yeah, but it's more. But then like sometimes I'll get it in. And I'll go like, oh, no one saw that. Like, I'm annoyed that no one's seen that. Like that was like glorious. Me just go like that. And it's gone in. So things that you just wish people had seen, like unbelievable moments that you just wish people had seen, will be good as well. Right. We've been talking about toasters for a lot. Thank you everyone who sent us pictures on Twitter of your dials of your toasters.
All right. Oh yeah, the dials on the toaster. One bloke sent a fader. There was no numbers on it.
Ooh.
That is madness. I mean, that's uncalled for. Can Well, just while you mention this, so I just seen this tweet from Todd, LFC, and he says, I've seen there's a picture of a pretty young girl with a bikini. Do you want me to, if you go to my account?
Okay, go to your account.
Yeah, Flav.
Yeah, I know your name.
Yep. And they go up. Go to tweets and replies.
Okay.
So I don't know, that's better, more visualization.
Oh, is it put on the pod? Is this one?
Yeah, scroll up, top.
Yeah,
Right. So top. So many accounts like this popping up lately. It's hard to know which are real and which ones are not. Women in bikinis can support Liverpool, of course, but I'm not sure about this one. Scroll down.
So there is the lady in the bikini.
And then she says, "Hang on, what the fuck? Where's the thread? Go up. You're going past it, mate.
Oh. What?
You've got to click on him. Click on his neck. On that.
I am on him.
There's a thread of it. Them talking to each other.
Hang on, maybe it's a bit further.
All right, look, doesn't matter. I can read it out. So she says,
"I won't take this." Is this her here? I won't take this personally.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
There he goes. Wow, we need proof you're not a robot or just some bloke for easy follows. That's what Todd's trying to slide in the DMs a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is scroll down.
Yep.
This is the same necklace as the one in my profile picture. So, all right, a little bit of evidence. Hope this is enough proof.
Oh, hello.
Cream of the Klopp comes in out of nowhere, double-footed slide tackle. Picture of you with a spoon.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Or it didn't happen. Todd, laughing face emoji. Well.
Deaf catfish, says Paul. More than one or two of you.
Yeah. Go on.
Where is she? Oh, look, hang on. Where the... Oh, here we... Is it here? Oh, for God's sake,
No.
what's wrong with Twitter?
Fucking shit, innit?
It must be here, surely. There we go.
There we go.
Your wish
is my command. And then we get tagged in.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Finally, someone is true. Put her onto the pod. I'm pretty sure she's aware of it. Any remaining doubts settled by a potato masher. There you go. Not all catfishes are incorrect, and she follows me, so perhaps she does. She does watch the pod. I don't know. Todd, now you can slide into her DMs, I guess, if that's what you was.
Yeah, best of luck. Let us know how you get on. If you need any tips, of course, we've got some advice that you can give us. What do we got to? Oh yeah, that was mad. It was spin. Right, toasters, of course, on this football podcast. So first of all, yeah, there was all sorts. Someone had a 9, excessive. I don't know where you're going with it at 9. Seems mad to me. Some people had 7. I prefer a 1 to 5 personally. I know where I stand. And yeah, anyway, this right. I don't know if this person's living in the 60s or I'm missing something. I just needed to get clarification on it. Hugh Griffin. I put my toast on for 3 minutes. So this is his strategy. I put my toast on for 3 minutes, then flip it over and whack it back down for another 2. The key is to flip and reset quickly, else the toaster cools down and it comes out undone. That's That's grilling, isn't it? That's not like the point of a toaster is that there's heat on both sides.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's he doing then?
I don't know. Maybe his toaster. He's had the same toaster for years, and it just does one side, and he just thinks that's how a toaster works.
Yeah, he's living in this alternate universe. I don't know what
he hasn't acknowledged at all that it does heat both sides. He's just saying, no, the key, guys, is to flip it and reset it.
That's what I love. That was the bit that got me. I was like, the key. I was like, what? You got to do it really quickly, otherwise it cools down. Which again,
let's have a look. I want to have a look at this. Look at this toaster, Hugh. Please tweet either me or James. I want to have a look at this toaster.
Yeah. Right. On to a bit of Well, we talk about omelettes, pet hates. People struggle with omelettes. Ethan said, here's a tip. After cooking one side of your omelette, put it under the grill and cook the other side and avoid having to flip it. I like that. That's good. Into the buffet chat. Here we go. Trig, just popping my head in. As an American from the Midwest, I believe there is a nuance to buffets. As soon as I read that, I went, wow, okay. There's certain things where you go, like certain people from certain countries, you go, okay, well, this guy must know what he's doing. So you kind of, as soon as he says American, I go, right, in you come.
Okay,
I'm listening. From this, I believe that there is a nuance to buffets. Depending on the type of buffet, there needs to be a plan in place and an agreement with your body to put in the work needed on the day. While I agree with most of what Jim said, I believe all civility is checked at the door at a buffet. And I believe that piling the plate is the move. But once again, planning on what piles the plate is most important. Get your meat in early and wait until it's about to drop to get the carbs in. Also, depending on the place, leave space to have whatever subpar dessert they have to reward yourself for the work you've put in. Interesting.
I can't imagine having a dessert at a buffet. It feels like a waste of stomach space. You go for what you go for. Not like you get dessert anywhere. If you're going for Chinese food, it's just a waste of time. Not many people have dessert at buffets. They just fill up on main food as much as possible.
Well, I think you're going to be looking at ice cream there, which is going to turn into liquid. So generally you can find. I would imagine you should be able to find space for it. So I'm not totally against the dessert. You should be able to sort of top that up on the top of your gut. Ace, we used to have a buffet place near where I lived, and my accomplishment was 7 plates.
A bowl of ice cream.
7 plates and a bowl of ice cream. I genuinely didn't get hungry for about 30 hours after and slept for 13 hours that night. I felt pride knowing I'd easily made them lose money. They are now no longer in business, and that pride is now guilt, as I played a tiny part in them going under, and I lost one of my favourite restaurants. Careful. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
It's more probably
they
didn't run their business properly.
They might have been shut down for several reasons. Matt Webber, I stayed in a Premier Inn recently and watched a kid put a croissant into one of the toasters. I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Flav. So I watched a kid put a croissant into one of those toasters.
The ones that sort of go along.
Yeah.
Like a track. Yeah.
Yep. It got stuck at the back. The staff had to turn the toaster off because the croissant was burning. I knew there and then that I was witnessing this kid having one of those embarrassing moments from your childhood that you remember for the rest of your life and can never quite shake from your memory. I just thought of you straight away, guy. If you'd have been Matt, you'd have been like, you'd have been like sort of there, sat watching it, and your missus would have gone. Your missus would like asked your questions like, "Oh, so should we go straight to the beach? Or should we do the?" And you would go, shh, just wait. You just want to watch the glory of this child.
Yeah, I would have loved that. It's not all just children. Anybody who created this scenario, you just sit and watch it. You know, as long as no one's being hurt or anything, it's an enjoyable part. You know, doesn't happen all the time. People humiliating themselves, and you know, if you get to witness that, it's part of being alive.
There's some things that are just like are always funny. You know, like it's weird how. Why are farts still funny? But like, even when you're like 30 odd, you're just like, how am I still laughing at this?
I don't think they are.
I'm a bit younger than you.
Like if you sit and go, I wouldn't like have a belly laugh. I'd go, you're just a fucking pig.
Yeah, maybe. True, fair enough. I still giggle at it, to be honest. That and the other thing that I don't think I could ever not laugh at someone dropping a plate, like walking and dropping a plate. No, but tripping up as well. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
And Swellhead Spur. End on this one with the buffet chat. Swellhead Spur. I'm 26 now. My first date with a girl at the age of 19. I took her to Tiffin's, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet. I ate so much, I went outside, threw up, went back in for dessert, and had to get a taxi home. Grim choice.
That is... yeah, on a first date, I'm not sure a buffet. You want to kind of rein it in a little bit, don't you? Do you want to go down and get as fucking full as you can on a buffet? Go home and have sex.
Yeah. Well, babes. I want to treat you to a good time. He's got that wrong, hasn't he? Do you want to treat you to so you're so full that I could just prod you with my finger and you'll be sick. But in his head, he's thinking, I want to show her I can provide. Do you know what I mean? I want her to know that she can be full with me.
I want her to be full when she's left. Barely out of walks, partially asleep.
Yeah. How did it go, mate? How did it go? Well, let me say this. She left full.
So on that, it was a success. The buffet is the kind of thing you do with your wife and kids. It's not a date thing.
I like the idea of that. It was like, what's a bad moment that? See, I'm probably a bit too self-deprecating, but there are some people that will spin. They'll just spin anything. They'll spin anything into being something kind of impressive. So like that guy there, we've gone.
She was full.
Yeah. Let's just say. She left full.
Say no more. Let's just say. Was it a success? Let's just say.
Yeah.
She was full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. What lip I mean,
yeah.
Like, oh, I get you. Yeah, I get you.
Well, some people kind of there, and then as a bloke, you're sort of confused that you've not got the jokes. You just kind of go, "Oh, cool, nice one, mate, nice one." Yeah. Oh dear, that is a bad first date. I don't know why you've gone to a buffet. It's a tricky one. But yeah, looking to provide. Good on you. I mean, I would have. Did you tell her? Why did you need to get a taxi home? Like, if you could be sick, you could just come back and power through, couldn't you?
Also, why did you need to say you were 26 now? Is it just because that's something I need to leave behind? You know.
Yeah. Have you actually moved on from this?
I did this. You remember it specifically. Maybe you kind of caught up and thinking, "Fuck, I went outside, threw up, and went back in and had dessert." Yeah,
and the other thing is like. Right, so because this works like this, right? He's gone in. He's like, yeah, babe, where do you want to sit? Where do you want to sit? Should we sit? Prawn toast? You want some prawn toast? Yeah. No, what you should use use the soup bowl for the dessert. You get more in there. Like just showing off your tactics. And then you eat too much, you go too far because she's going plate for plate for you and just eating it really easily, and she's got like a waist like that. And so he's going, well, I better have another one. She's not going to think I'm a man, is she? And so then he's had too much. But the bit where I get confused is he's then gone, well, hopefully he's not gone, I'm going to be sick, I need to go now.
You go for a tactical chunder.
Yeah. And if you've got enough presence of mind to go, right, I'm going to need to, go have a chunder, go to the toilet. Why has he not gone to the toilet? He's gone outside.
I thought that. You want to go straight outside? I mean, do you know what it is? It's quite it's like a working class thing. I think this is like, I've seen this a lot. Is that so when someone's a bit pissed up, they go outside for a sick up. They don't go to the toilet. Really? It's like, I'm going to sick in the street.
There's no evidence.
This is better from everyone. No, I don't know. It's just what goes on their brain.
Or they finished on the way out. He's gone. This might have happened on the way out. He goes, oh, well, that was lovely, wasn't it? She's like, yeah, I'm really full. Yeah. Well, good. Well, that's what happens when you go on dates with me. And then he's gone, oh god, sick outside. And then she's gone, you all right? Yeah, I think I'm fine. All right. You're right. Well, I've got a bit of space now, so I'm going to go back and get dessert.
See you later.
He's gone, I can fit in dessert now. Result. I'm going to go back in. You come in.
He says, he put her in a taxi and just went back in for dessert. Yeah. He said, I forgot what I was going to say. He said, when she goes, oh, I'm really full, and he goes, stay with me, love.
Yeah. Tactics.
You'll be full every night.
Yeah. Shh. So naive. Let's get you out. Let's get you outside. We go, well, no, we don't have to leave. No, we're not leaving.
No, come back to mine. I've got 2 shepherd's pies in the fridge.
Yeah. Well, I've just eaten my own body weight. Yeah.
Come back to mine and have a shepherd's pie.
Do you think going, because he's 19, going into it, he's gone to his dad and gone, I think I've got a date with this girl. I'm not sure where to take her, and I'm not really sure how to be. Like, what should I do? And he's gone, sit down. You got to make sure.
Eat this.
If she's anything like your mother, there's only one thing that you need to do. You need to make sure that woman is full by the end of it. Okay.
Yeah. So on your way, get a Greg's, greet her with a sausage roll.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So obviously, let's both say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Buffet. Yep, buffet. So you take her for a buffet, and absolutely, and just in case, because I had to do this with your mother, I'll pop 2 shepherd's pies in the, and that way you can get her back.
Yeah, get her back with a shepherd's pie. Can't fail.
Yeah.
Good.
Word of warning: the lovemaking will be lethargic. Right. Last thing. Actually, I don't think we've got time for it, sadly. I don't think we're going to top. I'm not sure we're going to top what we've just done there.
We can
the 5-minute riff on buffets.
We can always do it next week.
We can do it next week. Let's do it next week. We're going to leave it there, guys, because I've got a meeting. Get me in 10 minutes over the phone. Flav, enjoyed it. We're back. We are back. We're talking about buffets for 10 minutes. It's great stuff. Guys, if you are new to the podcast and you've enjoyed it and you want more, we do have a Patreon page and we have lovely people who are watching right now. And I see you all. You know, Ben, Louis, Dan, Catherine, Ben M, Charlie. All the patrons are in there. Bobby Turner, I see you, Catherine. So if you do want to get involved, please do get involved because we'd love to have more people because it's always good fun building that community. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week. Have a good weekend, Flav.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.